I used to believe the milk in my morning coffee was a quiet gift to my bones, a simple ritual that kept me steady, until I watched the wrong carton turn into a slow tax on the heart, the gut, and the mind. If that makes you catch your breath, take a gentle first step with me right now. For your very next pour, choose an unsweetened milk that plays nicely with blood sugar and lets the heart rest. And I will guide you through the few smart swaps that protect strength without stealing comfort. I speak as a clinician who has seen both paths unfold. Familiar cream can be soothing, yet biology is not sentimental, and the body keeps an honest ledger. When habit leans on richness and hidden sweetness, the day can start silky and end with heavier legs, a tighter chest on the stairs, a foggier word on the tip of the tongue. When habit leans on cleaner fuel, the reward shows up as steadier energy, calmer digestion, and a quieter pulse that lets you do more of what you love. Here is why this is worth your attention. Creamy comfort often rides with saturated fat, and leading heart experts have long taught that this kind of fat raises the bad cholesterol that sticks to artery walls. Nostalgic sweetness may taste like home, yet concentrated sugar asks too much of the pancreas, stirs the lining of blood vessels, and over time can nudge memory off balance. Some plant milks look gentle, yet a few are thin on protein or heavy on fast starch, so muscles starve while blood sugar swings. Flavored versions turn the glass into dessert in disguise, with spoonfuls of added sugar and extra thickeners that annoy the gut more than they nourish it. Now the hope: fermented soy brings complete protein and friendly plant compounds that support bones and brain while staying easy on the stomach. An unsweetened almond choice offers graceful calories and natural vitamin E, a quiet shield for delicate brain cells. A calcium-fortified oat pour adds soluble fiber that helps sweep away extra cholesterol and brings a bedtime warmth that settles the nervous system. Flax-based milk delivers plant omega-3 that cools the low fire of inflammation that stiffens joints and dims mood as the years add up. Each option carries a strength and a limit. Fermented soy feeds muscle, yet the taste may be new at first. Almond is feather-light, yet modest in protein. Fortified oat comforts evening rituals, yet must be chosen without added sugar. Flax soothes the joints, yet it serves bones best when the carton includes calcium and vitamin D. That is why I want you to start with one small swap, repeated, rather than a dramatic overhaul that only lasts a weekend. Keep an unsweetened carton within reach, and use it in the meals you already enjoy: the morning coffee, the afternoon smoothie, the bowl of cereal before a steady walk. Your body will answer back kindly when a choice is working. The breath bargains less on the stairs. The belly feels less crowded after lunch. The right name arrives on time. Stay with me and I will show you where the traps hide and how to step around them without losing foods you love. In a moment, we will open the refrigerator and face the bottle many of us grew up with, the one that feels safe until we see what daily richness quietly teaches the heart. I can still see the glass of whole milk on the breakfast table, creamy and inviting, the kind of drink that seems to carry you back to the safest mornings of childhood. That is the charm of whole milk. It feels loyal, familiar, and it does bring protein and calcium that the body needs. But after 60, the body reads that same glass in a different way. Each cup carries more than 4 grams of saturated fat, and when this becomes a daily habit, the fat drives bad cholesterol higher, coats the lining of arteries, and forces the heart to push harder than it should. Large studies from Harvard and other heart centers confirm that seniors who keep this ritual may face nearly 1/5 more risk of cardiovascular disease. I have watched men and women discover this too late, only when a climb of a few stairs left them unreasonably winded, or when a heaviness pressed against the chest on a walk they used to enjoy. They blamed age, yet it was often years of creamy comfort quietly reshaping their arteries. The balanced truth is that whole milk is not pure villainy. It does offer protein and minerals, but the price of its fat and calories is steep for aging bodies. When movement slows, those calories sit heavy, adding pounds that strain joints already stiff and sore. Lactose, once harmless, now causes bloating, gas, and fatigue that people chalk up to getting older without realizing the link to their daily glass. The path forward is not to abandon milk, but to choose a friendlier version. Pour unsweetened almond or fortified oat into your coffee tomorrow morning and taste how satisfying it can be without the burden of dense fat. That one small swap can lighten the load on your heart, ease digestion, and still deliver the comfort you crave. Think of it as keeping the ritual, but trading away the hidden toll. And do not stop here, because the next milk wears a sweeter mask, and its effect on memory and mood is more alarming than most seniors ever guess. I once watched a patient stir a spoon of sweetened condensed milk into her coffee and smile as though the taste itself was a hug from her mother's kitchen. That is the charm of this milk. It is thick, creamy, and it delivers a rush of energy along with a flood of memory. It is no wonder so many seniors keep it in the cupboard, because sweetness feels like comfort. But the sweetness that comforts the spirit can also wear down the body. A single spoon hides roughly 10 grams of added sugar, and most people stir in far more. Day after day, that hidden load forces the pancreas to push harder until insulin wears thin and blood sugar begins to climb. Scientists now warn that this pattern does not stop at diabetes. It can reach the brain, where excess sugar accelerates decline, so much so that some experts call Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes. I have met older adults who thought their forgotten words or morning fog were only age, yet the true culprit was the steady drip of sugar that dulled their memory. The gut feels the weight too, because this dense syrup slows digestion, leaving bloating, gas, and fatigue that make afternoons heavier than they should be. Blood vessels are quietly inflamed, arteries stiffen, triglycerides rise, and the risk of heart disease grows in silence. To be fair, sweetened condensed milk has gifts. It can lift mood, sweeten recipes, and mark family gatherings with joy. But when it becomes a daily ritual, the cost grows larger than the comfort. The way forward is not to ban sweetness, but to keep it in your own hands. Trade the spoon for a drop of real vanilla or a dusting of cinnamon in your coffee, and you will find the same warmth without the hidden toll. I suggested this to that woman, and within weeks she felt lighter, clearer, and more awake in the mornings. The coffee still carried love, but her body no longer carried the burden of syrup. That is the kind of balance you deserve too. And before you breathe a sigh of relief, know that the next milk looks gentle because it is plant-based, but it quietly carries a toxin that can thin your bones and strain your kidneys in ways that no one expects. I used to recommend rice milk to people who struggled with bloating after dairy because it seemed harmless, light, and kind to the stomach. On the surface, that is true. It is naturally low in fat, free of lactose, and it gives a smooth texture that feels gentle when other milks feel heavy. But as the years taught me, the same carton that looks so innocent can quietly chip away at strength and even deliver toxins the body never asked for. The first issue is nutrition. Rice milk is mostly water blended with white rice, so it carries almost no protein, no healthy fat, and only trace minerals. For a senior who desperately needs protein to hold on to muscle, this is a problem. I have seen men and women in their 60s and 70s drink it daily and then wonder why their legs felt weaker, why they tripped more often, why a simple fall led to a fracture that set back their independence. A single cup gives less than 1 gram of protein, and the body cannot build with what it does not receive. The second issue is toxicity. Rice absorbs arsenic from the soil, and when rice is processed into milk, the trace element is carried with it. Over years, the arsenic can collect inside the body, and scientists have linked that slow exposure to kidney damage, liver stress, and even cancers of the bladder and skin. Add to this the sugar spike. Rice milk has a high glycemic index, which means it drives blood sugar up almost as fast as table sugar. Many brands sweeten it further, turning an already empty drink into a roller coaster for energy, mood, and metabolism. To be fair, Rice milk does offer comfort to people who cannot tolerate lactose, and its creaminess can feel soothing. But the comfort is shallow compared with the risks, because it leaves muscles underfed, bones fragile, and vital organs strained. The better way is to reach for a milk that nourishes instead of depletes. Fermented soy delivers complete protein to preserve muscle and strengthen bones. Oat milk fortified with calcium and vitamin D shores up bone density and brings calm before sleep. Unsweetened almond milk keeps calories low while guarding the brain with vitamin E. Flax milk contributes omega-3 to cool inflammation and protect joints and heart. Even a single swap in your daily cup can redirect your health away from the hidden costs of rice milk. I remember a man in his late 60s who trusted rice milk for his digestion. He walked into my office after a wrist fracture from a minor fall. We discovered his protein intake had been far too low for years. When he replaced rice milk with soy and oat, his healing quickened, his strength returned, and his confidence in walking was restored. That is the lesson I want you to carry. Small choices ripple into major changes. And now, let us leave behind the milks that harm and turn to those that truly heal, beginning with one that has been hiding in plain sight, yet has the power to protect your muscles, your bones, and your memory at the same time. I have watched countless shoppers pass by the carton of fermented soy milk without even touching it, and I often smile because I know what they are overlooking. The irony is that this quiet drink, sitting almost unnoticed on the shelf, may be one of the most powerful allies for seniors who fear the slow loss of strength, memory, and digestion. It delivers a complete protein profile, every amino acid the body needs to maintain and repair muscle. After the age of 60, the body naturally sheds muscle faster, but a steady glass of fermented soy milk can slow that decline and keep legs stronger, steps more confident. The soy plant also carries isoflavones, gentle compounds that act like nature's echo of estrogen, protecting bone density and supporting cognitive clarity. Women after menopause often find this benefit striking, but men gain from it too, with sturdier bones and sharper recall. What makes this milk even more remarkable is the fermentation process. It transforms soy into a form that is easier to digest and fills it with probiotics, the good bacteria that calm the stomach, lift the mood, and even improve sleep. I remember a woman in her early 70s who came to me frustrated by constant bloating and restless nights. She traded her whole milk for fermented soy, and within a few months her digestion felt lighter, her belly no longer cramped, and for the first time in years she was sleeping through the night. Her blood tests told the same story, with lower bad cholesterol and steadier energy. That is the bright side. The caution is that its flavor can feel different at first, and those with soy allergy should avoid it. Yet for most seniors it is a gentle, nourishing choice that feeds muscles, guards bones, clears the mind, and soothes digestion all at once. If you want to try, pour a glass into your morning coffee or blend it into your smoothie this week and notice the difference. It is a modest swap with a generous reward, and just when you think the story ends here, the next milk flows even lighter, almost like water on the tongue. Yet hidden inside is a nutrient shield for the brain that keeps memory clearer as the years pass. Most people glance at almond milk and dismiss it as too thin to count, almost like flavored water. And yet I have seen this delicate pour serve as a quiet shield for both heart and brain. The surprise is that while it feels feather light on the tongue, it carries qualities that cardiologists and neurologists alike would applaud. It holds no cholesterol, almost no saturated fat, and it is naturally rich in the kind of healthy fats that lower bad cholesterol and ease pressure on blood vessels. Even more, it brings vitamin E, a potent antioxidant that guards brain cells against the slow wear and tear of time. I have sat with seniors who told me they felt steadier in mood and clearer in thought after making it a daily choice, and many noticed their blood pressure settling into safer ranges. A cup contains only around 30 calories, which makes it one of the most effortless tools for weight control without stealing comfort from the diet. I remember a man in his late 60s who swapped his nightly bowl of ice cream for a smoothie blended with unsweetened almond milk. In just a few weeks, his pants loosened, his afternoons grew lighter, and his cholesterol numbers made his doctor smile. That is the quiet power of almond milk. The caution is that it does not bring much protein, so it should be balanced with eggs, beans, or soy to keep muscles from thinning. Still, as a gentle choice for heart health, brain clarity, digestion, and weight, it stands out as one of the easiest swaps any senior can make. Try it in your morning coffee, over cereal, or blended with fruit, and you may find the light texture grows on you, while the benefits accumulate quietly in the background. And do not go anywhere, because next we turn to oat milk, a drink that feels like home in a cup and offers not only bone strength and heart comfort, but also the gift of deeper sleep. I once told a patient in her late 60s to give oat milk a try, and she chuckled that it sounded like nothing more than liquid cereal. A month later, she returned and confessed it had changed her daily rhythm more than any medicine she had tried. That is the charm and the paradox of oat milk. It tastes gentle and familiar, but when fortified with calcium and vitamin D, it becomes a shield for bones that quietly thin after 60. Each glass helps guard against the silent creep of osteoporosis and lowers the odds of fractures that can steal independence. Its beta-glucans act like tiny sweepers in the gut, binding cholesterol and helping blood pressure ease down without extra strain. The digestive system feels calmer too, as the soluble fiber encourages regular and comfortable movements. Yet the gift that surprises most people is sleep. A warm cup before bed soothes the nervous system, eases tension, and whispers to the body that it is time to rest. I remember that same woman telling me she no longer tossed and turned at night, and she woke with more energy for her morning walks. That is the bright side. The caution is that many store-bought oat milks are sweetened, and that added sugar can undo the benefits. So the wiser choice is the unsweetened fortified version. For seniors searching for both comfort and health, oat milk is a rare companion that strengthens bones, protects the heart, supports digestion, and lulls the body into deeper rest. If you are curious, warm a cup before bed this week and listen to the way your body responds. And stay close, because the final milk we will explore may surprise you even more. It carries the same omega-3 fats often found in fish, yet in this plant form it eases aching joints, sharpens memory, and slows the very process of cellular aging. The milk that startles most of my patients when I mention it is flax milk, a carton they have walked past for years without a second thought. I often call it the hidden powerhouse, because inside is a rich supply of omega-3 fats that cool the quiet fire of inflammation, ease aching joints, and sharpen memory, all without the heavy, fishy taste that keeps so many from supplements. Seniors who make it part of their routine often notice smoother steps, a brighter mood, and a steadier heartbeat. It is naturally free of lactose and cholesterol, light in calories, and many brands are fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and vitamin B12 to further support bone strength and energy. I recall a man in his early 70s who had set aside his gardening tools because stiff knees made bending unbearable. After he began pouring flax milk over his morning cereal, he slowly returned to his garden, and by the end of the summer he was tending his tomatoes again, proud and pain-free. That is the quiet promise of this milk. Omega-3 protects brain cells, lowers inflammation throughout the body, and supports heart health. And flax milk delivers it in a form that is creamy yet easy on the stomach. The caution is that not every carton carries the same fortification, and its flavor can feel unfamiliar at first, so choose carefully. But for most older adults, it is one of the gentlest and most nourishing swaps you can make. The greater truth is that every sip is a decision. You have now seen the milks that drain health slowly, and the ones that build it back with every pour. The path ahead is not about sweeping change. It is about one small swap you can start tomorrow morning. Replace just one harmful milk with a healthier choice, and let time do the rest. Each small decision stacks into stronger bones, clearer memory, calmer sleep, and a more independent future. I encourage you to share which milk you are ready to try first. Because when we share our choices, we lift each other. Growing older does not mean surrendering strength. It means growing wiser in how we care for these remarkable bodies. That wisdom can begin with the very cup in your hand today.